Pendomonium. I am thrilled to be able to show you everything that Todd and Trisha just talked about, but in action, in product. Now, I love this graphic of the Pendomonium platform, but I've always found it a little bit challenging because it looks like it's a linear path. Like we log into the application and we begin going through analytics to orchestrate into guides, into NPS, listen, session replay. When the reality is, we actually move in between all of them. It's choreographed. We're dancing. We're picking up qualitative information and quantitative information. We get empathy through session replay. We take action. We measure that action. It's coordinated and orchestrated, and they're magical intersections. That's exactly what Tricia and Todd were describing. Magical intersections between every single one of our capabilities. So that's the inspiration for today. That we want to actually use Pendo like you use it, like I use it, where we're moving between every single one of these capabilities. You ready? Here we go. I forgot one thing. So I always forget this one. There's an Easter egg. There's an Easter egg. We hit it really, really deeply inside of all of this. So sit on the edge of your seat, like lean in, because it's the big reveal at the end. And I want to see if you can find it. All right, we got that, right? Ready? Here we go. We log into Pendo. We're greeted by a personalized homepage. This homepage pulls up, as Tricia just highlighted for you, all of your favorites. Everything across Pendo that you have said is important to you, but also your most recently used things. And that way you can begin work right into the place that you were last time you logged in. But it's not limited to there. As Todd said, we are bigger than just the product itself. And at the bottom, we begin to highlight all of those aspects. Here we are looking at how other customers have created success using Pendo. Or our academy, all those incredible 140 courses coming forward. Or our certifications, Pendo Essentials. These are all personalized for you, what you need to do to hone your craft. My favorite area is this section in the middle, the actions that I need to take. And those are personalized for what you're trying to do right now. So let's change this up to onboarding. We're trying to onboard. These are all the actions that you should be taking today in Pendo to begin doing that. And let's follow this suggestion here to create a dashboard. This is a brand new experience. Now, Emily and I have been practicing this for quite a while. In the time that it takes for me to describe a powerful dashboard, she's going to create one. And you all know how long it takes to do this, so I got it. Ready? Let's go. A dashboard, an impactful dashboard, is one that has a purpose, like launching a product or a product overview. And it combines together quantitative and, damn it. That's how fast it is. That's how fast these dashboard templates are. We've all been in this situation. You're walking down the hallway, a VP of product is like, hey, you have a couple of minutes? I really want to learn about what you're doing, this launch or your app. Meet me in my office in 30. And the panic sets in. You're like, oh, crap. So this takes care of that moment. But here's where it gets better, because rarely do we actually have Pendo open in that meeting. So we need to have the ability to export that into a format that we can bring into our meetings, whether that be a PowerPoint or a PDF, or soon we're going to have Google Slides as well, where we get that same power of that data into a format that we can present from. We can have conversations. Most importantly, we can make decisions from. Because using data to make decisions is one of the most impactful things we can do. And so here, in the time it took to do all of this, we're walking into that meeting prepared. In fact, we have enough time to go get a cup of coffee. But here's my favorite part. Every single one of these is now hot linked directly back into that dashboard. So when you share this content with your teammates, with your leadership, they get back into Pendo to explore even more. And it focuses in right on that exact spot for them. It's incredible. Now, I want you to time travel with me. You're working with your team. Now, this is a cross-functional team, I'm sure. You've got designers and researchers and content people and customer success. And you're working as a team because building product is a team sport. And you want to work together on this dashboard. So let's fast forward 3 weeks. And now we're working on this dashboard. But we actually want to work together, and that's where collaboration comes in. The ability for your entire team to be working together on this dashboard. And we track all those conversations for you, allow you to personalize that, so you can filter them down. You can look at things that are already closed out, things that are in progress, or new open conversations for you to pay attention to. In this case, let's pull up the one from Molly. Now, Molly is drawing our attention to this retention report. Retention is one of the most important things we do as product people. I mean, imagine trying to fill a bucket and it's got holes in the bottom and it just rushes out. That's what retention is. When we've adopted users to something, are they retained? Are they coming back? Think of it as, are we delivering value continuously over time, keeping them coming back? And so if we see a fall off like this over time, we have to take action. But what do you do? Molly's highlighting that there's a new feature in Pendo that's going to help us do this. That's actually highlighting for us what features or pages are retaining our users. So let's click through to this. And this introduces insights and recommendations. These are two separate machine learning models completely focused on retention. What are those behaviors, the pages, the features that have our users coming back 30 days from now or all the way through 90 days from now? In our original investment thesis, we didn't think there was a difference between those two. But the power of that massive data set helps highlight that there are specific actions that our users do that drive them back 30 days versus 90 days from now. It's really incredible the detail we get. So let's dive into one of these recommendations. Here's one around submitting a note. So in our Acme CRM application, it's spelled out for us in plain English. You're over 3 times more likely to return over the next 30 days if you use this feature. And all of the analytic data to back it up, pre-calculated for you, because that builds trust. You can trust this insight because the data's here. And we continue to scroll through all of this trust. This portion is where it really gets interesting because it's not just about the behavioral data, it's also about your rich account data. Think about all that data that you sync in with Salesforce or a two-way HubSpot integration or the API or even through the agent itself. We then look across all of that to find not just how individual things like what plan they're on or what industry they're in, but the individual value and how that correlates to retention. So whether it's finance or here's the gold plan that they're on. And in fact, if we clicked on the Explore metadata, it would build a DX report for us and we can go even deeper. But I want to keep coming down because rarely do we log into an application and do one thing, right? You don't log in, just click submit. You go through a whole series of actions. And so we automatically pull together those related events. Because this is the related experience, that customer journey that you're building for your customer. But an insight without action is just noise. We've got to do something with it. So we immediately drive you these magical intersections. Maybe we create a segment. In this case, let's create a segment for people who haven't used it before. So it automatically populates everything you need for this segment. We can save that segment and use it across all of Pendo. Segments are the glue that ties everything together. It is the intersection that has existed since day one in Pendo. And where could we use it from here? We could build a journey and look at all of the different ways that people actually get to that spot. But in this case, I actually want to build a guide. Let's take action. When we go to build this guide directly from here, we don't want to build it with VDS today because we're going to go fast. So let's use AI. And we're going to bring in a prompt to do this. And the prompt is just simple English for it. Let's go ahead and build a series of guides that are just going to get us to that submit button. Typing on stage. It's a test. All right, we're going to generate this. Now, this is going out across the LLMs to look at it. Now, we give you great tools that you could actually go and edit it, but that's just taking more time for us. And this doesn't feel very personalized or specific. So now you can connect your custom knowledge store, like a Zendesk knowledge base, directly to Pendo AI. And if we rerun this against that same prompt against this, we'll see that it comes back and generates those guides specifically for your application. Precise, saving all the time that you need. It even goes down to talking about the color of a button. It's awesome. But we're not done with personalization. As Trisha said, it's the right context, the right time, the right audience, the right language. So let's go ahead and actually localize this. We all work with global audiences. So let's get this into the language that we use. In this case, let's try Japanese. We can translate this immediately in-app. No downloading an XML file, no downloading XLIF, sending it off to translation services. But here's the coolest part. You're editing this right here in Pendo. You didn't even have to launch VDS. Edit right here. You can launch this, get this into action, start driving retention. Let's go ahead. Yeah, give it up. Now, retention as a concept challenges us, though, because that assumes, doing this process that we just did, it assumes that the user is actually in our app. What if they already started churning? What if they're no longer actually logging in? How do you get their attention again? How do you meet them where they are? And that's where email comes into play. Being able to reach out of app in the same way that we can reach in app. So let's build a journey from here. This is orchestrate. The ability to create an orchestrated journey that's omni-channel, not just about in-app guides. It includes emails. An email service that you can personalize, put your own domain on, put your own email addresses on. And look at this, it uses VDS, the tool that you already know how to use. Now it's extended to email. All the building blocks that you've been using every single day built in. But we can coordinate that journey. It doesn't stop with the email. We want to make sure that when we've got their attention, the message when they log in, it's the exact same message. So that's how we pull our guides into this. And if we wanted to add even more, let's say we could go and pull in HubSpot. And soon you'll be able to actually pull in Marketo so that you can truly coordinate an orchestrated message using the tools that you already know how to use, the tools that your organization leverages today. Now, we go through and need to personalize one more step. Again, it's that magic segment. Here we can place and make sure that that segment we created, based off an AI recommendation that we're using for analytics, we're using for everything else, now we're using it for that same journey to the right people. And while we give you tons and tons of analytics to show you what's working and not working, we can't forget that we have to have empathy for our users. They're not just numbers. So let's jump in from here to a replay. This replay is where we get that empathy. And Pendo AI makes sure that we respect your time. It doesn't say, go watch the 1 million session recordings that happened this month. Good luck. Hope you have a big coffee. No, it actually surfaces up the moments that matter. Hey, usage is trending up. Let's check out what's going on. Or worse, it's trending down. What happened? In this case, we have rage clicks. Someone is so pissed off at your application, they're actually just clicking over and over and over. That ain't good. So let's actually click in and check this out. Actually experiencing what your users are doing, that is painful. It's embarrassing. But we have to do that. We have to see what's happening, right? We have to get that. But the reality is, you can't afford to fix every single bad moment. You have to prioritize, radically prioritize. Where you spend those engineering dollars matter. So what's the scope of this? How many people experience this? How is it impacting our outcome of retention? Let's click over on trends. And when we could go and build a DX report, but in this case, I want to build a funnel. And I want to actually build a funnel directly from here showing me, hey, what is that experience of people going, creating notes and saving them and submitting them? That is incredible. I didn't have to go to a separate report or pull up or remember all the features. That's a magical intersection. AI surfaced what's important. Then we magically intersected into quantitative data to show us the scope. And look at this impact. There's a massive fall off for our users. And in a crazy intersection, if you wanted, if we highlight over, we could go back and watch the replays of people who didn't do that. Like, that's incredible for us to understand our users, to have context and empathy. But if we want to work on this as a team, we push it back to our dashboard. That same dashboard we created just minutes ago, that's where our team is working and collaborating. And while we think that this is telling us everything we need to know, we still can't answer questions like, what are our users saying about this? What do they want? What were they raising in support tickets? So what if we could actually talk to Pendo data? What if we can actually ask those questions of our own data? And this is that teaser of the conversational interface that will make it to all of Pendo. And here it is on our qualitative. And Zelta is smart enough to actually recommend things for you to ask of it. In this case, about our submit notes. And as it comes back and it looks at it, it's looking across all those data sets. Things like Zendesk, things like Gong calls, pulling that information, and again, it's all evidence. These aren't just, here's a result, trust me. It's backed up. Here's all of the evidence and where it came from. Because this is the evidence we need to make investments, to actually say this is worth putting money behind. That is incredible. Give it up for Zelta. Now, did you find the Easter egg? Did anybody see it? Yeah, I doubt it because it was everywhere. See, the Easter egg was embedded content. Almost every intersection was placed through our guide system with the new embedded content. Here it is, driving us to create a dashboard. Here it is, driving us to create guides. Here's a new button on the page for replays. Here's even a link of text inside of a widget, driving us to ask questions of our data. Come on, who shows a login page to a product keynote? Y'all fell for it. You think I didn't remember to tell you about an Easter egg? Now, when we built this demo, we actually challenged ourselves. Can we do this without speaking to our engineering team? Can we do this in a no and low code way to actually drive a product keynote? And that's exactly what we did. Let's show them how easy it is to actually build these experiences. It uses the same tools that you've been using. Visual Design Studio can now embed content directly in your application to personalize it. So as you select a container on your page, not just a target, but a full container, you can choose, do I want to prepend this new content on top of it? Do I want to append it to the bottom? Maybe I want to fully replace that. You have the ability to change your product, to drive a personalized experience that you target with segments, an experience that you can localize with AI, all of that directly from VDS, all of that from Pendo. And it doesn't stop there, because Pendo is not just about applications that you're building, it's also about applications that you're buying. Every single thing that we showed today can work in environments like Salesforce, embedded content, embedded multimedia content like videos, and they're coordinated. Look at this orchestrated journey of moving from this embedded content, driving an overlay guide in-app that's actually going to help us or help salespeople create quotes. That is incredible, and that's the power of Pendo One. We've been personalizing Pendo One for your application, for you, so that you can actually personalize your application for your users. But we're nowhere close to done. There's so much that we couldn't bring on stage today. So when we get done with the keynote, I invite you to go out to the product village. Meet our product teams. Meet the designers, the product managers, solution engineers. We even have engineers who actually coded all this out there. Learn about everything we have to drive personalized experiences in your applications. And with that, please welcome back to the stage Todd Olson and Raul Jain.
Good job, good job.